it's important to look at this whole tour in context. I mean, it's not cricket coming back to Pakistan, because we've had cricket in Pakistan over the past few years, and it's not international cricket coming back to Pakistan, because we've also had other international teams come over here. But it is hugely important, I think, especially after those tours were cancelled by New Zealand and England, to have Australia come over here. Obviously, first time in 24 years. But also Australia is probably the most risk-adverse team, almost you could say, in the world when it comes to touring. So the fact that they've come over and been happy with everything, I do think helps build on the work done by other teams that have come over here. And just to see what it's meant to people over here, it's so genuine. People are so grateful. So it clearly means a huge amount to cricket here, but also just to people generally. There were lots of different views around that, a lot of about both teams, and what they decided to do. Australia came under criticism for when they decided to declare or enforce the follow-on or not enforce the follow-on. So, that teams are going to make whatever decisions they are. Always going to be really, really hard to actually chase. I think people expect chases to be a lot easier than they are on the 5th day. I don't think I expected them to really go for the chase once they lost a couple of wickets. Game can move very, very quickly at that point. Well, I think probably the main pitch that was the issue was definitely Rawalpindi, and it was in the end decided by the ICC to give it a below average rating. It was just one of those frustrating games where you just felt really early on, unless things changed dramatically, that it was likely to head for a draw. And in the end, it was a largely quite dull draw. And I mean, who knows if it was done to negate Australia's fast bowlers, or if it just the way it is in the end. I know quite a few people here have said to me that there's this misconception from the outside that spin will play a greater part here than it does. The pitch at Karachi was better, I thought, and it did sort of offer a bit. I guess the challenge is there for the bowlers to be able to find reverse when the pitch isn't doing much, and that's something that the Australians certainly did, as they did here in Lahore and Pakistan as well. So there was certainly more here in Lahore, because you saw Nathan Lyon on the final day had a lot of foot marks to work with. So there was a little bit more for them. It's just, I think in the end you always want to see bowlers in the game a little bit. I personally don't mind it if it's favouring bowlers a little bit more over batters. Perhaps that's something to do with our attention span in these days, when you get so many 3 and 4 day matches and batting collapses. We're perhaps not hardened to the old, subcontinent hard slog draw. But I'm happy to see different pitches around the world. They shouldn't all be the same, but there's certainly pitches that have made the bowlers work very hard. Well, it was really a brilliant series for Usman Khawaja. Very hard to go past how well he batted. I mean, it was like he was born to play this series, and the story of him coming home to Rawalpindi and then to Karachi, the land of the Khawajas, and then also here in Lahore. He was magnificent throughout. But also for Australia, Pat Cummins was immense. He was immense as a bowler who made things happen when it didn't seem like there was anything on offer. And also as a captain, he made a lot of really good decisions in the end, and he's only a new captain. I think he has enhanced his reputation brilliantly during this series. It's also, if you're going captains, I mean, it's hard to look past Babar Azam, where as far as batting goes for Pakistan, that innings he played to save the draw in Karachi was epic. It was simply epic. and also Abdullah Shafiq. He stood up pretty well, I thought, in this series as well, and played some really fine innings. Rizwan, magic innings, another one. And I'm always happy to watch Shaheen Shah Afridi bowl, but Naseem Shah as well. I'm just mentioning everyone. I love the series. They can all get a star from me. I think it's been played in a great spirit. They've fought hard, both sides, but there have been smiles all around, and even, you know, the wonderful love affair between Shaheen Shah Afridi and David Warner. That's been quite fun to watch as well. So all the way through, it's been a series that's been played in magnificent spirit, I think. It's been an incredible tour. Pakistan is a wonderful country. The hospitality and the welcoming that we have received everywhere we've gone has been quite overwhelming and a bit humbling in a way. It's like, you know, we're not important. The guys out on the field are the important ones, but people have just been so generous and warm, more than we could have ever imagined, I think. The food is great. I love the food here. I like my spicy food, so that's a good thing. And you know, just to be able to experience many different things here, exploring a bit in Lahore, getting out on the street in Karachi, trying some street food, all of those things, seeing the monumental buildings in Islamabad, all of those things have just been wonderful. But it's the friendships, I think, that we've been shown by particularly our colleagues here in the media, but also people in the street, that's left a really lasting impression.